Welcome back. Welcome back. You know, it's rodeo time.
It is. And what name do you associate with rodeo time?
Robin Cooper.
Of course.
Of course.
She just happens to be in our studio.
She just happens to be here. Good afternoon,
hey,
Robin.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
You guys? I'm doing fine.
Hey.
Good. Wonderful.
It's happening.
Is this an exciting time for you? Is it
like,
another year of rodeo?
No.
Never.
We start as soon as we finish the rodeo.
Yeah.
This year, we'll start planning for next year. So it's an all-year deal for us. But the last 6 weeks gets really, really hectic.
And you're in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
But we love it.
Well, what kind of work do you do down there? I mean, what do you do to pull this thing together? Is it all you, or is it a group of people?
No. There's the board of the Harrison Roundup Club, and there's a rodeo committee, and they all work together. And of course, we plan for many, many months, and lots of details, and of course, all of our wonderful sponsors that we have this year. Community First was on a while ago. They're one of our big sponsors, and all through it takes the whole community to pull this thing together.
And we mentioned in the opening that PRCA stands for Professional Rodeo Cowboy Association, correct?
Forget it.
Yay! I wanted to make sure I got it
As
right.
As opposed to the PBR, which is...
Professional Bull Riding?
There you go. Yeah.
I like
Woo!
PBR.
I'm getting educated.
Yeah. You're right there.
So tell us about, you're going to talk specifically, I guess, about the drill teams or
we've got a lot going on. Of course, the Stick Horse Grand Entry kicks everything off. This year...
Did you do that as a kid?
I did.
Of course she still does.
I mean, yeah. I was out there when Michaela was small, you know. She was out there when she was a year old, and so I was out in the middle.
Later and ride it days later?
She did. We have a whole stable. You know, still have them.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
really?
So we have them still.
Year after year.
How cute.
We just have a whole stable of stick horses. She just collects them. But we kick off at 7:15 with mutton busting. Shorty's going to talk about that.
Okay.
And that kind of kicks everything off, and then the Stick Horse Grand Entry, and then we have the big Grand Entry that kicks off the rodeo with all our sponsors and all the cowboys and cowgirls that are entered in the rodeo. We have a sponsor presentation where we honor our, say thanks to our sponsors for sponsoring the rodeo with their flags. We do a big American flag presentation, and that's going to be big like it was last year. Then this year, we have a couple of different drill teams. The Chicks and Spurs from Mountain Home are going to perform on Thursday and Friday night. And then on Saturday night, the Rounders from Springdale, and they've been on the show.
Right.
We'll be here Saturday night. And then we've got some more acts going on. I think Shorty's going to talk about those later, but we've got a lot of variety going on this year. Different, not just the same thing that we've had in the past. So.
Now, is that part of the process every year is to try to make it better?
You do. I mean, you want to. This is the 33rd year.
Wow.
And I told the girls that are carrying the flags, this is the 30th year that we've carried the sponsor flags in the rodeo. So we try to, add something new every year and put a little spark to it, a little something different every year. So it's a multi-month planning process, but it gets real hectic this time of year.
Now the rodeo is a circuit situation, right?
It is. The nation is divided into different circuits. Arkansas is part of the Southeastern Circuit, which is all the Southeastern United States. But because we are lucky enough to be close to Oklahoma, and we're close to Missouri, Oklahoma is the Prairie Circuit, which is Oklahoma and Kansas.
Okay.
And then Missouri is part of Great Lakes, which goes all the way up to the Great Lakes. And because we're so close in proximity to those two circuits, we're sanctioned by those circuits as well.
Is that a good thing for you?
It is a good thing for us. What it will mean is we don't just have cowboys from the Southeastern Circuit. We'll draw from the other circuits, and they're all trying to get points to go to their circuit finals.
Each place they go, they get points. Is that correct?
If they win money,
okay.
It's not in point system. It's actually in money, dollars won.
Okay.
And then you'll get occasionally, we'll get people that are trying to get to the national finals. And so we'll get some of those folks too.
Big names.
We can.
Yeah.
We could. It all depends on, it's a draw situation. and there's other rodeos going on at the same time as ours, and it all depends on, they may enter ours and how they draw up. You know, if they're a bull rider, it's going to be what kind of bull
Explain it when you draw up.
Yeah, well, what that term means is if they draw a bull that they think they can score good on and they have a chance to win.
Do they know in weeks in advance who they're going to?
They don't.
Oh,
the books, there's a bookkeeping system of where they call into a central entering system called Procom. They call into that, and that those close today. And so we'll know this evening how many we have and who they are. And then they do a draw. They actually draw for numbers of livestock that they're
lots
drawing.
out of a hat or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're probably familiar with the livestock
they
themselves.
are.
So they know which bull they want.
And they know the livestock that the Rafter H Rodeo Company out of Tahlequah furnishes our livestock. And they know Dale Hall's livestock. And so they know.
So those are the livestock are just as big a star as the.
It's half the score in the rough stock events. It's half the score is how the horse or the bull bucks.
Mm-hmm. So they decide at that point whether they want to come, say, to Harrison, Arkansas, or to another.
They may have already
somewhere.
entered here, and then it depends, you know. And they may try to enter too many that weekend and not get up where they can get to every place. And sometimes they have to draw out because they just can't get here physically.
Interesting.
And,
I didn't know how that worked.
You know, it's a statistician, I guess, to put it all together for some of these cowboys. You know, computers and GPS, and can we get here and can we get there? And
so, is there other rodeos going on the same
there
weekend?
There are other rodeos going on at the same time. Texarkana is going on at the same time as ours, and one in Texas. And
it could be a bad thing, I guess, wherever you put your date from year after year.
It can be, but the good thing about with Texarkana is it's close proximity.
Right.
They can work both rodeos.
Okay, so it's a good idea to have it close to another.
It is.
Okay.
I suppose they could be in one place one night and then come here.
Absolutely, they can, and come here another night.
Okay.
So they could make as many as 3 or 4 rodeos in a weekend, depending on how close in proximity they are and where they are.
Are you going to be riding?
I will. I actually carry Community First's flag, so I'll be doing that and representing their sponsorship.
And do you barrel race?
Not anymore. Not much. Not anymore.
Okay.
I let Michaela do that, but I help her with our horses. So.
Okay.
Is she an up and rising star?
She is. She's going to be someday.
Yeah.
She had lots of practice.
Lots of stick horse practice.
Yeah, lots. She's kind of graduated, but she's working that direction and going to the National Junior High Association, which is a stepping stone to later on go into the professional ranks. So
good for her.
She's working her way up.
Good. So the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
It doesn't. You know, she's got bloodline on both sides of the family.
Yeah.
So she does. She enjoys it, but it's a family affair, and it's something we can all do together.
That's good.
And we do, and we're all second and third generation rodeo in our family. And of course, my mom was on the board and still is on the board for many years. Was around when they did the first one 33 years ago, and still a big part of it.
Still active member.
You weren't even born then, were you?
Oh, yes. yes. I'm one of the few that have carried flags the whole 30 years.
30 years, that's awesome.
We've got 3 or 4 of us.
It's
that
still a
have done
great
it
passion
several
for
years.
you.
Yeah, it's interesting. We love it. And
good.
always you see different people. You see some of the same people every year that come, and it's kind of a reunion.
One thing good that I like to see at a rodeo, and I go to several throughout the year, is there is an influx of young people coming in all the time, and that's what's good about it. You know you don't want to see an organization where you go and everybody's 60, 70, 80 years old.
Right,
you know,
right.
It's good that the rodeo still brings in
and
young
they bring
people.
them in. They start young. National Little Britches Association. They go on to the Junior High Association, the National High School Rodeo Association. They go college. There's a National College Rodeo Association that North Ark's part of. And they go and they just work their way up.
And it's good for kids that may not play football or are in the arts. I mean,
it's something. It's a
they
different
can
avenue.
do something they can do.
You bet.
Exactly. And they even have a senior pro association. So when you get to be an old timer, you can still go.
There you go.
So yeah.
Well, that's good. But the rodeo's coming up today's again, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
23rd, 24th, and 25th. Advance tickets are out in town, and it saves $1 off the cost of tickets to buy them in advance. And they sell them until 6 o'clock the evening of the performance.
And the festivities start around 7:15. You said
about 7:15 we'll start gearing up, and the ones that are coming for the Stick Horse Grand Entry, they need to get in there.
You bet.
You know, there's a race for those. You know, they want to get a hold of those. So yeah, they need to get there early. But we're looking forward to it. Got a lot going on this year, and should be a good rodeo.
Sounds like a great event.
We'll see you out there, because I think we're coming out to shoot some video.
Good.
Yes.
Some of the grand
We're
opening
excited
stuff,
about that. We haven't had in the past somebody shooting our opening, and so we want to get that on tape so we can use that.
Well, we'll be glad to be out there to
several years
cover it the best way we can.
We've got a lot of folks involved in
in
our opening.
Whoever is out in front of us will be in a horse.
No, I meant you.
No.
He will be. He will be filming all that.
I'll be filming all that from my trusty tripod.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right.
Robin, thanks a bunch
for
being
having
here.
us. We're excited.
Now we just have to endure this next 15 minutes with Shorty.
Oh, you will. He's been backstage prepping. Yeah.
He's been prepping.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy.
I'm scared now.
Yeah.
No,
he had his notebook and his phone in one hand, so I don't
Oh boy, he's a go-getter, isn't he?
He is. We couldn't do it without him. He knows every part of this, and he's been involved in rodeo for years and years and years. And
back when
on
rodeo
many
first came about, he was
probably
right there.
back then, right, on many different levels. So he's a good guy. We couldn't do it without him.
Yeah. Thanks, Robin.
Thanks for having us.
All right. We're going to take a break, and we'll be talking with the great Shorty Osier right after this.